Micro-inequity, the power of nothing. Session objectives. Define and identify micro-messages, micro-affirmations, and micro-inequities. Demonstrate technique for converting micro-inequities into micro-affirmations. Analyze impact of micro-inequities on office culture or community perceptions regarding the fairness, integrity, and reliability of organizations and political systems. Human communication. How is it that humans communicate? How do humans communicate? Most often, people will say that they communicate with words. And I want to say that is only part of how we communicate. And actually, that is not the most important way in which we communicate. And so, what I'd like to offer you is this experiment. And I want you to try this. Try this right where you are. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to say the word apple. Close your eyes. Alright, when you've said the word apple, you can open your eyes now. When you said the word apple, what images came up for you? Some of you may have seen a red apple. Some of you may have seen a green apple. And some of you may have seen a computer. There's always one of those people in the group, right? So you see all those images. And so, what do all of those images mean? How did that happen? Because I didn't say anything about a red apple. I didn't say anything about a green apple. Maybe you saw an apple with a stem. Maybe you saw one with a leaf. I didn't say anything about any of those. So how did you come up with that? The secret to human communication is, in fact, this. Humans use words to communicate thoughts. So how do we communicate? We actually communicate telepathically. I am sending thoughts from my mind to yours. I am sending my thoughts to you using these containers, these packages called words. And so, when I use these words to transmit my thoughts to you, I have to be very particular about the words that I use, because you'll get a particular package that I've sent. For example, the fact that I said apple gave you a certain image in your mind. Had I said rotten apple, you would have gotten a different image, or a different package in your mind. So why is that important? Why are the images that we generate, the ways that we talk to ourselves, or to other people, why is that important? Because the words that we create images for other people, which stimulates their emotions. Now, have you ever heard someone say that a picture is worth 1,000 words? Why do you think that is? Why is a picture worth 1,000 words? Because it communicates something on a level that words can't capture. Have you been to a museum, or seen a picture, or even just looked at a baby, or you were out in nature, and you were just so in awe of everything that was happening, you couldn't describe in words exactly what you were saying? Yeah, I've been there. So, words create images. Images stimulate our emotions, and our emotions dictate our behaviours. And oftentimes, what you'll hear people say is, I don't feel like doing a thing. And guess what? They don't feel like doing that thing because it's not a part of them. They can't do it because it's not a part of who they are. It's not a part of their nature. And so, when we talk about how to communicate, it becomes very important. The words that we use, because they create pictures for us that stimulate our emotions, that ultimately dictate our behaviours. Trigger alert. If cursing and swear words are accepted, tolerated, or excused as stress relievers, your organisation is ripe for micro-inequalities, and may also be experiencing prejudicial behaviours or discriminatory practices. Micro-messages. Small, sometimes unspoken, and often unconscious messages that are constantly sent and received. They can have a powerful impact on our interactions with others. Micro-affirmations. Microaggression, micro-insults, and micro-inequalities. Micro-affirmations convey inclusion, respect, trust, and a genuine willingness to see others succeed. May lead to a more productive and efficient work environment where all members feel valued and enjoy work. For example, a manager greets every member of a trial team in the morning by name. Prosecutor greets victim by name at court hearing. Defender greets client and client family members by name. Micro-inequities. Micro-inequity is a theory that refers to hypnotized ways in which individuals are either singled out, overlooked, ignored, or otherwise discounted based on an unchangeable characteristic such as race or gender. In 1973, while researching racial and gender exclusion in the workplace, Rowe, Ph.D., discovered that women and people of colour were bothered by subtle, seemingly harmless messages of devaluation that kept them from flourishing. Micro-inequities are the ways in which individuals are either singled out, overlooked, ignored, or otherwise discounted based on an unchangeable characteristic such as race or gender. Usually take form in slight difference of language, gesture, treatment, or even tone of voice. Are often subconsciously given, but can have a huge impact on a work environment or social structure. May lead to the perception of discrimination or harassment. Are frequently unrecognized by the perpetrator. For example, rolling eyes or sighing when someone considered different is speaking. Manager walks down a hall and doesn't acknowledge coworkers or subordinates. Not paying attention in meetings when a certain person is sharing an idea. For example, staff person, usually of difference, shares an idea and no one responds. Same idea is repeated by someone else and everyone acknowledges. Exclusion of environmental factors that represent a certain group. For example, decorations, literature, or artwork. Constantly being interrupted while you're talking. Being left out of a discussion or project. Trying to speak with someone who is reading or sending emails during a conversation. Talking with someone who keeps looking at his or her watch. Not being introduced in a meeting and then being ignored. For example, some individuals receive micro-affirmations, but others do not. Gesture of affection or praise for one colleague, but not another. Supervisor chats frequently with one employee, but not another. Colleague invites some office mates to lunch, but not others. Small, but powerful. What activates our implicit bias into micro-inequities? Our biases are most likely to be activated by 5 key conditions. They are real or perceived stress or conflict, a time-focused task or time constraints, busy work, multitasking, lack of promotion of curiosity, perception of resource scarcity. What are affirmations? Affirmations refer primarily to the practice of positive thinking and self-empowerment, fostering a belief that a positive mental attitude supported by affirmations will achieve success in anything. To ratify and accept a voidable transaction. To state or assert positively, maintain as true. To express agreement with or commitment to, uphold, support. Affirmations can boost morale, create supportive environments, productive atmosphere, and build consistency. Inequities erode self-esteem and ability to perform, create feelings of exclusion. Strategies. Intentionally infuse micro-affirmations into daily behavior. Role model. Enhance understanding of the psychological basis of bias and its impact on customer service and civil rights of people and groups. Replace negative mental images of the target group with positive mental images through appropriate cultural icons and artifacts in public spaces. Increase positive contacts with socially dissimilar groups, both as service providers as well as internal staff structures. Increase affective empathy and perspective, talking toward outgroups. Creating networks of caucus groups, focusing on education of ability, cultural, or ethnic differences. Work with target group members to achieve common organizational tasks or goals. Adhock or focus groups can be created to assure that all voices are a part of critical mission delivery. Replace tolerance behaviors with acceptance and appreciation behaviors. Shift from micro-inequities to micro-affirmations. Recognize movement along the Bennet Cultural Competence continuum. Analyze personal patterns of privilege in light of the recognition of the limiting nature of developmental contexts. Who do you micromanage? Get 360-degree diversity feedback from diverse members of your work team, organization, or persons you trust. Practice, collect, monitor, and evaluate personal or professional diversity-related decision metrics. How frequently do you recruit, hire, mentor, or promote target group employees? Obtain a target member coach, diversity professional, or accountability partner from outside your workgroup, organization, or family.